Good morning, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you again today from Robeson County, North Carolina. Well, the weather is finally getting mild and fall has set in, I do believe. Just to give everybody full warning, this morning's video might be fairly well laced with certain euphemisms, if you will. It's a polite way of putting it. I'm going to be using some very bad language. So, not safe for work, not safe for children, probably not safe for politicians. Some of the things I'm about to say. Yesterday here in this county, 2 Robeson County Sheriff's deputies went on a call to apprehend an individual that had jumped bond, broke belt, whatever the term, sorry about that, headed out of the driveway, whatever the term you wish to use. Now, what makes this sad is this piece of trash son of a bitch was not only out on bond not once, but twice. Yeah, with an ankle monitor that he'll just happen to cut off. And that's what triggered the Sheriff's Department to go and find him again. Been arrested twice, well, 3 times now. But when they responded, the deputies were basically ambushed. There are 2 Robeson County Sheriff's deputies in the hospital right now because this son of a bitch was let out by some lip-turd, panty-waist son of a bitch judge. And the sheriff of this county's got every damn right to be mad at the system. His deputies did what they were supposed to do. And some liberal-ass piece of shit judge let this son of a bitch out not once, but twice. And from everything that has been disclosed, the DA didn't want him getting out on this second time. The pre-trial people, the people setting all that up, didn't want him out. But somehow, he managed to get out twice. Both of the deputies are in serious condition. They're expected to live. I pray to God they live. And the suspect, well, he was shot up pretty bad too. They had to life flight him up to Chapel Hill. And I've got my own ideas what I think about him. The other part too is when they did finally get up to him, he dumped a bag of these so-called Glock switches. So on top of everything else he's been charged with, which I think one of the charges he was out on bond for was a murder charge. And I'm going to post a link to the sheriff's statement on the news yesterday and let you watch it for yourself. Now, my county sheriff, he ain't perfect. He's done some things, said some things I don't agree with. But overall, he's been out here trying his damnedest to clean up this county's drug problem. He's got a hard job because Interstate 95 runs right through the heart of this county. Oh, Soldier, what's that got to do with anything? Well, study. A lot of them drugs come in through Florida. And they come right up the 95 corridor all the way up into the northeast. And in turn, the money comes back southward. So it's a major corridor for the drug dealers. It's also a major corridor for sex traffickers. We've got several unsolved cases here in Robeson County of young women that have disappeared, been murdered. Don't nobody know who or why or what for. disgusts me that the judicial system let this son of a bitch out twice. Now you got two young men whose lives may be forever altered because of this son of a bitch. Oh, I'm sure it'll come out in the news here that, well, when he was little, he was such a sweet, innocent angel. We don't know what happened. Okay, so you don't know what happened, but call him out for what he is now. I pray for these deputies. I pray for the families. I pray for the family of the man that was arrested, because they're going to go through a lot of scrutiny. They really are. I'm upset. Trying not to blame them for this young man's decisions. Sometimes our nature is to point the finger when we don't have all the evidence. So forgive me for pointing the finger at them just a minute ago. But I will say this though. That the family ought to have known what he was doing and intervened if they could. That's still not a 100% solution, I know, folks. But as we sit here, we contemplate what could have been done versus what was done. It's scary. Because the reality is, piece of trash should never been back out on the streets to begin with. And had he not been, these two deputies would be healthy and going to work today. But now they're in a hospital, not knowing how their wounds are going to change their life. From what I understand, one of them actually got his legs run over by the suspect. You see, when they got the suspect, he was in the woods and he came out, open fired on them, striking both deputies. And then he got in one of the deputies' cars and basically ran over a deputy. I don't know which one. Another deputy shot multiple times at him while he was in that patrol car, hitting him numerous times. Of course, later he was apprehended, taken by ambulance to the nearest hospital, and from there they life flighted him to Chapel Hill. The two deputies were taken by other patrol cars to the nearest hospital instead of waiting on an ambulance to show up. I'll say this much: my son was in the emergency room when they came in. Works at that hospital that they were taken to. And hopefully the name of that judge that let this son of a bitch out comes to fruition and comes to light, so that when it's his time to be reelected, he gets sent to the trash can pile. Sadly, in this county, many of the judges are elected. He might be an appointed judge. I don't know. And if he is, it sounds like he's one of Roy Boy Pooper Scooper's pets. Yeah, I called him a pet. I don't give a shit. Anybody that lets somebody out with a record like that don't deserve my respect, inside or outside the courtroom. Anyway, folks, y'all stay safe out there. Stay blessed. Your eyes open and your ear to the ground. Keep your head on a swivel. It's old soldier out.